Welcome to Bob R Photos. This is a short film using the Movikon 8 movie camera, double 8 film. Hello, I'm Bob from Bob R Photos, and these are my Movikon 8 cameras, the ones I really like the most. This I use a lot. This is the Movikon 8. This is a standard. This here is the Movikon 8V1, which here has where you can adjust your film speeds from 16 frames a second all the way up to 48 frames a second by using that lever. And this here is the Movikon 8B, which has a built-in light meter. This knob here adjusts your f-stops, and you got your film speeds 16 frames per second up to 48 again, and also you could do frame by frame with this one. You set it to the letter E. You could do 1 frame per time. And this here is in DINs, which is like ISO, but it's Europe. So this is set to, when I use 40 ISO film in here, so this is set to 17 DIN. And then this is set to the film speed, which will help the light meter be accurate when you're looking through the viewfinder to shoot your movies. And like I said before in the other video, none of these run on a battery. They're all wound, and they all take double 8 movie film. And I'll show you that in a second. Okay, this is the preferred roll of film that I like to use, the Cine Color 40 ISO. This is a negative film, where after you send it in to get processed, they'll scan it and send it back to you in a MP4 format. It comes in a black bag, dark bag. This is a wasted roll of film. So you can load this in daylight, but in dim light or in the shade, these are called daylight spools. Okay, so you can load these in dim lighting. And like I said, with this camera, it loads different. So make sure you have some wind in it for when you go to load it. And that's your take-up spool. And once you shoot one side, you load it. Stick it in there, find the groove. Get it rolling a little bit when they're tight. Open up your film gate. And then here, you put your film, motion side down. Make sure it's in the gate, flat. Close the gate. Pull it a little bit, you hear a click. And then you slide the take-up reel up on there so that folds down like that. And the full load on this side. And you can give it a little pull. Alright. And then to give it a test, make sure it pulls through fine. And then you can close her up. Make sure she's locked. And then make sure she's fully wound. And then this is your trigger button. You can hear her rolling. She's rolling at 16 frames a second. And there's your film counter. Right now there's a bunch of lines, so when that gets to 25, that means there's 25 foot of film, and it'll run down to 0. And then when it's back in the black lines again, then you can open it up. Make sure you hear it come off the roll, and that way, you don't expose the film to the light. And here's your f-stops on the front. This goes to 16 down to 1.9, and then from infinity down to about 1.5 feet. And this is one of my favorite cameras. This does a nice job. And in a few seconds you'll see some film from this that I took at Huntington Beach State Park. And then Ocean Boulevard around Christmas time when they were putting up the lights down on the boardwalk. And then I went out to Conway real briefly, and we'll get to that in a second. And here we are at Huntington Beach State Park. This is in December. Not too much activity going on. The day before there was a lot, but I dropped my camera. It fell out of the car onto the ground, and the film bird nested up inside, so I had to go home and get another roll of film. So this is the next day. You got some swans out there and some cormorants diving, and then you'll see in a minute or so some white pelicans will fly in and then swim around doing a little bit of fishing. There's somebody there with their binoculars checking out the birds out on the island out there. There's a couple of white swans, mute swans. We've only had one for a number of years. This is the first time we've had two here at Mullet Pond. Pretty interesting. And this is the causeway. It's under construction. You briefly saw it. They're replacing the road and the guardrails. And there's a couple cormorants diving. Here you got a couple white pelicans going to circle around. I think there's like 3 of them eventually show up. Here they are here. They're coming in for a landing. They are swimming around, and then eventually they'll start doing a little fishing. This Movikon 8 does a nice job. The film's pretty smooth. The Cine 8 Color film's pretty clear, pretty good. Here they are doing a little fishing, the 3 of them. Starting to come up on the end of the first side. Film will be reloaded, flipped over, reloaded, and shot the second side for a total of 50 feet of film, which is roughly about 5 minutes. And here I'm down on the boardwalk, Ocean Boulevard. It's around Christmas time. They were putting up all the lights, and they had a little Santa village set up right here. Here I stopped down in Conway on Main Street. Just shot on this corner for a few seconds, then went over to the Riverwalk area, an old train station down at the Riverwalk. There's the water tower in Conway. And I think that was part of the train depot back in the day. This is on the boardwalks at the Riverwalk. Looking out over the river there. On the way home, I stopped along the Intracoastal Waterway by my house, and there's a commercial, maybe a shrimp boat or a fishing boat heading north on the waterway. Pretty cool. Moving pretty good. Here's a nice yacht. He's heading southbound. This is up near the swing bridge off of Dick Pond Road. That's a nice boat. Really nice. As you can see, he's moving along pretty good. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this film. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit that like button to help us grow. Hit that share button to share with your family and friends. And once again, if you don't like it and you want to hit that thumbs down button, don't hide behind your keyboard. Please tell me why in the comments. Thank you.